Coming up on today's show, I want to look at the overall Cowboys roster, and that means team position by position for the team, depth charts, and where things sit and where some more moves are probably going to come. Now, of note, from a pure roster numbers perspective, the Cowboys have one of the most in the NFL. They've got 74 players. The max is 90. There's 10 draft picks. That's 6 spots. So I would expect cuts. You will see the Cowboys maybe cut some players post-draft. It's happened before. And or a pretty small undrafted free agency class for the Cowboys. So the roster outside of the draft, I don't know if you're going to get a ton more additional impact, which may not be a good thing for you. So grade the Cowboys roster. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. That's youtube.com/@CowboysTV to grade the Cowboys roster. I don't know why I did that part. Just grade the Cowboys roster. I was reading what's on screen. I went full on Ron Burgundy there. Also type L in the comments for me and then go grade the Cowboys roster. Sometimes I do stupid stuff. What are you going to do? Anyway, the quarterback room. It's 2 people right now. It's Dak Prescott and Will Grier. That is it. There is nobody else on the roster. That will not stay the case. Dallas wants a draft pick here. I think in an ideal world, they spend that 5th-round pick on somebody, and he earns the backup role, and they have a cheap, solid, young backup. Not that different than the tried and failed attempt with Trey Lance, but they have to be able to get one, and that has to play out first and foremost. Over to the running back room. Things look very different right now on this side of the ball. Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Deuce Vaughn, Malik Davis. Hunter Lipke is in there at fullback. So some changes. Javonte Williams comes in after, frankly, a down year with Denver. He has not been the same explosive player the last couple seasons. But he can pass protect, and he is a good pass catcher. And that combination does carry value as a backup. Miles Sanders, meanwhile, wasn't very good in Carolina, was very good in Philadelphia. Schematics, age, offensive line quality were all very different at that spot. So how that all plays out at running back, I don't think Sanders or Williams are locked into roster spots. I would also fully expect a notable draft pick here. I think the day 2 value could align quite nicely for a player the Cowboys like, have a high grade on, ends up being there, maybe even above where they're picking. They're rated the 30th best player, and they're there at 44, or they're graded 50th, and they're there at 76. That, I think, is very, very realistic. I also think the Cowboys could double dip in a loaded class. That would not surprise me. You can take a guy in round 2 or round 3 and take someone in the 5th, 6th, or 7th round. But in terms of that first running back, what round would you draft one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me know at the pinned comment of today's video. If the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Over to the wide receiver room. You have CeeDee Lamb. It's that number 2 spot that is like, okay, what are you going to do here? Tolbert, Turpin, Mingo, Brooks, Flauno. We don't trust those guys. They signed Paris Campbell. Okay. He was a non-factor for Philadelphia. He was a non-factor in New York. He had a great year in 2022. Maybe you get a redemption season. But I don't think anyone, even the Cowboys, truly consider Paris Campbell a wide receiver 2 option. It is a massive need. Probably one of your biggest needs right now on the Cowboys roster. And there will be options in round 1. Maybe T-Mac is there. I'm high on Luther Burden. Others are high on Matthew Golden and Emeka Egbuka. My grades, I've got a first on T-Mac, a late first on Luther Burden. I'm not going to overthink it. I don't care that his quarterback was terrible. He's a good football player. Matthew Golden has an early round 2 grade. Egbuka has kind of a mid to late round 2 grade. Trade down would be great for one of those guys like Golden or Egbuka. T-Mac's there in the first, man. That's my pick. Tight end wise, I don't know what changes we'll get, if any. You got 5 guys. Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker, Brevin Spann-Ford, John Stevens coming off of injury, and Princeton Fant. I don't see a massive need here. I don't see a elite level player that means you couldn't draft one if you wanted to, But I don't think this team views tight end as a need they have to address. It'd be kind of like a luxury pick for them, and I don't know if they can afford a luxury pick right now. Offensive line. I think these are your likely starter, at least for the spots. Guyton, Smith, Beebe, Steele. Probably some real competition at right guard between Brock Hoffman, TJ Bass, and Robert Jones. Now, I didn't love what I saw from him in Miami last year. Maybe this schematic change will benefit him. That could be an option, certainly. I think in the end, the Cowboys are mostly hoping for internal growth. Maybe a veteran swing or another a day 3 pick, whatever. But a new staff and scheme should help these guys. In general, I would like to draft an offensive lineman at least once a year if I have the ability. I don't know if I can take a top 75 pick on one right now. I don't know if I have the ability with my other needs on this roster. But day 3, why not? It's a dart throw, and worst case, it's good depth. And that's normally a good thing, given the lack of good offensive line play in the NFL. Today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. It is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. It is available in more than 30 states, including California, Georgia, and Texas. They invented the flex play, which means if you get one wrong, you can still cash out. You can double your winnings even if one of your picks does not hit. This is one of my football PrizePicks slates. I got Jared Goff, less than passing yards. New coaching staff on offense, minus head coach. Travis Kelce, less than receiving yards. He's not going to be as involved, or he's getting older now. And I don't think they want to have Jaden Daniels run a lot. So I'll go less than on that one, too, for the commies. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play that first $5 lineup. Again, folks, link will be in the comments section, and it will be in the description of today's show as well. It's PrizePicks. Run your game. Let's go to the defensive line here at nose guard. You have Mozzie Smith and Justin Rogers. That's not enough. Osa's back on a big-time contract. Cool. Solomon Thomas can help out at depth. Cool. You don't have enough pieces as far as I'm concerned. You need help. Look, I will say this. I would have been very worried about this 3-technique room, this DT room, if they didn't have Osa back. I don't know what they would have done. Milton Williams went for $26 million. I don't know what their plan would have been. Solomon Thomas went for Javon Kinlaw went for 13 or 14 something, in the actual money. So at least you have Osa back. You still need more help here. Solomon Thomas can do some dirty work for you. Great. He wanted to be a Cowboy. Awesome. That's cool. I look at this defensive line room and I go, okay, it could be worse, but you can't be done here. You need more run stopping. It is a concern for me that for a team that's so constant as we got to stop the run, got to be better against the run, they haven't done anything about it. Osa's not a run stopper. Thomas can do some dirty work, but you're not better against the run than you were last year. Go draft a nose guard again. One of those 5th rounders, draft a 320-pounder who can just sit down, play 20 snaps, and stop the run for you. That would be a great pick. Now, we will have more Cowboys news and rumors and draft and everything else in there. Don't miss out. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. The return of Dante Fowler probably puts Edge in a decent enough spot. You're hoping Marshall Elam takes a step forward in year 2. You're hoping Sam Williams is healthy and able to make an impact. You are obviously banking on Micah Parsons playing a big role, but I think you have enough pass rushers in this group. Dante Fowler was great last year for the Commanders. It's really a 1-year, $6 million deal, which I was kind of surprised they were able to get. That's good for the Cowboys. You're going to bank on him being a key pass rusher for you, kind of your number 2 pass rusher on the outside, and open some combination of Marshawn Kneeland and or Peyton Turner help you out with some run stopping stuff. Turner's production has not been very good. Former first-round pick. He'll have to earn a roster spot probably. He's not getting paid enough really beyond that. But I think in general, from a body perspective, the Cowboys have enough. They have enough bodies. But there are some question marks with all those players in some capacity, even long-term. They like drafting defensive ends. They like doing it. They've done it with Sam Williams, done it with Marshall. They love round 2 edges. So I would not rule out an early round pick at edge. I've seen it happen too many times to bury my head in the sand and think it's not possible. I would not rule that out, even though I think running back, receiver, and corner, which we'll get to, are bigger needs. Now, who do you want the Cowboys to draft in round 1? No wrong answer. It's your opinion. Keep it realistic for me, though. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Linebackers. Look, Overshown's not going to be healthy for week 1, but he's still, I think, a long-term piece. If, knock on wood, he stays healthy. They have Maurice Leafau, Damone Clark for now, and they added 2 players. Jack Sanborn is, a lot of us, I'm happy to say it, us nerds like him. I think there's untapped potential there for Jack Sanborn. He's on a super cheap deal, though. Kenneth Murray is not on a super cheap deal. And there will be some splash plays he makes, especially when moving downhill. The side-to-side stuff, dropping back, it's not nearly as good. I have some concerns there. But he's probably in line to be your middle linebacker who can also blitz for you, too. And hopefully, Overshown gets back soon. And in that case, some combination of Sanborn, Overshown, Leafau, Murray, it's probably good enough at linebacker. But a day 3 pick, to maybe replace Damone Clark, help on special teams, maybe be a long-term contributor for you, that, I think, is also very much in the cards for the Cowboys. Over to corner. Diggs, Butler probably won't be ready in round 1, or in week 1, excuse me. So that leaves DeRon Bland as one starter. And big question marks. Is it Kaiir Elam on the outside to start? A change of scenery hopefully helps, but he was a massive disappointment in Buffalo. Never lived up to expectations. Barely got on the field the way people wanted, but I think there is some untapped talent there. And then it's probably Israel Mukuamu at nickel, because I think the Cowboys didn't plan on losing Jordan Lewis. I think they were surprised at the size of the contract he ended up getting. So as a result, corner's a big need here. Trayvon Diggs, I don't know if he's here this time next year. We'll see how the rehab goes, everything else plays out, but I'm not so certain. And now nickel corner is a big question mark for Dallas. Short-term and long-term. So if you can find someone on day 1 or day 2, I think you'd have to strongly consider taking a corner. So will the Cowboys spend one of their first 3 picks on that spot? Why for yes and for no? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. The Cowboys pretty much running it back once again at safety. Willie Cooker's back, Donovan Wilson, Wanye Thomas, Marquise Bell. I'm not surprised. You guys know that I love adding safeties. Cowboys haven't always done that. I think they will add help here. Probably not big name help. This is probably like they sign an undrafted free agent or 2. Like, they have to be able to get through the camp and preseason, which you can't do because you're not going to play Wilson or Hooker in the preseason. Do you want to give 100% of your snaps to Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell and risk injury? No. So I would bet safety help comes, but it's low investment safety help. And I guess kickers and punters are people too. Brandon Aubrey's back. Anger's back. Trent Siga's back. Outside of Bones Fossil, the Cowboys have pretty much chosen to run it back for one more year.